Hi everyone, UK Girl in SF. I am going to do a video now. It's a venting video because I'm very upset and angry at something that happened today and I need to get it off my chest, and I'm most probably going to regret making this video and putting it on YouTube, but the way I feel right now, I don't give a toss. So let me give you some background information. For the last 4 months, I've been on state disability and food stamps. Now, I never envisaged that this time in my life this would be the case. My circumstances, I hate it. I know a lot of people purposely screw the government out of money, and then those that don't do it on purpose, they don't mind being in that situation, but I'm not one of those people. I hate it, and to me it's a stigma, but that's where I am right now. That's my circumstances. So every month I get state disability and I also get food stamps. And my food stamps, the allocation benefit is given to me on the 2nd of every month. And today's the 4th of October, and I went shopping and I noticed that my benefit was not added. So I thought I'll call them when I get home. Now, just to backtrack a little bit to last week, I received a generated form from them. The agency is called CalFresh, and they send this form periodically. And basically it just says, if your circumstances change, i.e. you find a job or you come into money, you have to let them know. Now, I've got about 2 or 3 of these, so I just tossed it to one side because I thought, what the hell are they sending me this for again? Thought no more of it. But today, before I called them, I was looking at the form trying to find the telephone number for CalFresh, and I noticed that there was another sheet underneath, which I hadn't noticed the first time round. And on the front of the top form, it says page 1 of 1, so there was no need for me to look to see if there was anything underneath. But I noticed it today, and shock, horror, when I saw what it said, I nearly fell off my perch. I got really upset and very angry because apparently somebody at CalFresh made a mistake in my benefit calculation, and instead of giving me $194 a month, I'm supposed to get $16 a month. I mean, seriously, it's gone from one end of ridiculousness to the other end. Who can live on $16 a month food stamps? But anyway, I digress. So, and I'm laughing now because if I didn't laugh, I'd be crying, which I was earlier on. So apparently $787 I owe them, and I just don't have the money. Now, what I'm really upset about, 2 things. A, this form should have been put either on top of the other one or it should have been sent under separate cover because it's a really important piece of information. Or even better yet, telephone me, tell me that a mistake was made, we'll work with you, we'll put you on a payment plan, but this money has to be paid back. To get a form like this, I think is really unprofessional. Now, I know they've got thousands of people in the city and county of San Francisco on food stamps, so that's why there's a form. But it's just so cold, and you can't mess around with people's lives like this. So whoever calculated my benefit really screwed up, and I was so annoyed anyway. But I digress. So I called the guy. This guy at CalFresh, he was very patient with me. He listened to me while I vented. And I said, does this happen to other people? And he said, yes, but your amount is quite high. And I said, well, who made this mistake? And he said, oh, well, there's no signature on the paperwork or on your record. And I said, well, of course not. You know, that covers the city's arse, you know, by not having a signature. And I said, I want to fight this. So he's going to send me some paperwork for a fair hearing. And I definitely want to take this further because I'm so annoyed. But the other thing that really upset me about this form when I looked at it is rather threatening. It tells you, they want you to sign it to agree to pay the money back. And if you don't pay the money back, they will either take you to court and you will be expected to pay all the legal costs, or they will garnish your wages in the future if you have any, or they will take the money out of any rebates you get on your income taxes. And then there was one other thing. So there are three things, three sets of consequences if you don't afford to pay them. Well, I can't afford to pay them. So what does that mean? I'm going to be taken to court? In fact, I want them to take me to court because you know what? I think CalFresh, the agency, should be shamed, and it should come to the public's attention that they're not vigilant when they allocate these benefits, and they should be. They should be held accountable. They should eat the cost, if for no other reason, to make sure it doesn't happen again to someone else. Why should I pay for their mistake, you know? And the other thing is, I'm on state disability, so the money I get from state disability isn't even enough to pay my rent. So there's a fantastic foundation, and I've done a video on them. They're called the Q Foundation. They subsidise my rent. But what's left after I pay the other half of my rent is not enough to even pay my existing bills. And so every month I get penalised for my bills because, you know, they're adding extra money each time because I'm so far behind. But now I have to find nearly $800 to pay the city back? I don't think so. I mean, I most probably will have to end up paying it, but they can bloody wait because they're not priority. Why should I have to pay for their mistake? So I was so upset earlier on. And can you imagine if a senior had received this note? I mean, how absolutely upsetting is it? And the other thing is this guy told me that they wrote to me about 2 weeks ago with this information. Well, hand on Bible, I never received a letter from them, because if I had, I would have addressed this matter much sooner, and I would have most probably gone down to see them and not got that shock and surprise today. So I'm very upset tonight, and I'm venting and I'm waffling now, so I'm going to go. But I just had to get it off my chest, and I look a mess. And I am a mess, and I'm so stressed out. And with all the stress I've got in my life, now I've got this added stress. So this is UK Girl in SF, sounding out for sure tonight and signing off. Until the next time. Bye.